February is American Heart Month, and in tonight's Hooked on East Texas, we introduce you to an East Texas man who underwent a heart transplant and credits fishing as part of his recovery.
We'll just go out here off the dock. There's a little creek that runs out and see if maybe some of those pre-spawn fish are hanging out.
This is the story of how fishing can mend a broken heart.
That's a good way to put it. It's done it many times. Here we got a little shallow water. See if we can talk one into bite.
And John Mark Stewart can tell it better than anyone. And what better place to share that story than his boathouse on Lake Palestine. Look at that.
Hey, look at that.
Look at you. That's a nice sized crappie. A day crappie fishing is just the latest chapter.
It's not a monster,
His story really starts
but they'll be here soon.
when Stewart was 45 years old.
So at 45, I knew I was just getting sicker and sicker, and my legs were starting to swell. Went into the ER, and they took 30 pounds of fluid off of me in 24 hours and said, "You're in heart failure."
Doctors implanted a pacemaker and defibrillator, but Stewart's health kept failing. The pacemaker and defibrillator saved his life more than once.
I had 2 or 3 events over that period of time where my heart stopped, and I fell to the floor, and the defibrillator kicked on and shocked me and brought me back.
Stewart lived with the devices for 12 years,
All right, let's see about this. There's a little stump right there.
but he knew time was running out, and his only option was a heart transplant.
It's a fine line for transplant. You have to be sick enough to get it, but not too sick to receive it. So it's really a narrow window. And so I finally got to that point that they knew that was the only option for me. So I was running out of days for sure. It's a great place to be, and it's peaceful down here.
That's where fishing and this boathouse become part of the story.
To get out in the morning before daylight and watch the sun come up out in the boat with just peace. And so when I was struggling for so long before this transplant took place, that would be my getaway.
Word of a donor heart came in January of 2020. Stewart went to Baylor Medical Center in Dallas. This is a picture of him in the ICU after the operation. But Stewart knows for him to live, someone else had to lose their life.
And that's the emotional side of it. You know, the physical journey to accomplish all of that is unbelievable. But I realized after the fact that the emotional side of it is just as big.
He learned his donor was a young man who died in an accident in the Houston area. In March, he will have an emotional meeting with the young man's parents.
I can't imagine, you know, this was a young person, and a family has to live without them for the rest of their life. And the other side of that is I get to live on and help be a part of my grandkids' lives.
Show that in the past decade, there have been more than 31,000 successful heart transplants, and Stewart hopes his story will convince more people to sign up for organ donation.
Yeah.
And you have a very personal connection to John Mark.
I do, and I love this man a lot. They're in our church group, and they help lead the young married group, and they've had a lot of experience with that. But just meeting him and just knowing the kind of person that he is, I mean, you're right. It's heartbreaking to know that somebody has to lose their life so somebody else can go on. But it's such an important thing is to sign up to be an organ donor, because you never know who the other person on the other side is going to be.
Absolutely.
Well, it just goes to show God's not done with Stewart. He's got a lot of blessings to give, and I hope he uses this moment in his life to continue to spread the message of what God's done, what this family has done for him. It makes you feel good just as far as, you know, what has gone through his life. And and to think that fishing has got him through this too.
Such an incredible,
Yes.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
love that.